Hi, my name is Blake, and I'm an occupational therapist at the Johns Hopkins Ataxia Center. My job as an OT is to increase your independence and safety with activities of daily living. So this means your activities that you need to do for everyday life, like bathing, dressing, toileting. Today I'm going to review universal design, adaptive equipment, energy conservation, and different types of equipment and exercises. But keep in mind that these are just general guidelines and exercises and might not be for everyone. I will say, though, that research has shown that there is good evidence that repetition of task can help you actually get better at that skill. So it is important to continue to do exercises and continue to be as independent and safe with your activities as you can. So universal design includes zero-step entrances, wide hallways, wide doorways that make spaces accessible for everyone. This is important for somebody that has ataxia because you can actually modify your own home to be more accessible and safe for you. They actually have funding for most states that would help cover the costs of some of these modifications that are actually going to be in your home, typically in the bathroom, widening doorways, and potentially in the kitchen as well. Adaptive equipment are just pieces of equipment that can help you be more successful and independent with different activities that you need to perform every day, like bathing, feeding and cooking, as well as dressing. So this is an example of a shower transfer bench. Typically it's used over top of the tub so that you can sit on the edge of the bench and get into the tub safely without having to actually step over the tub lip. This is helpful for patients that have difficulty with standing or don't necessarily have support at home to help them. This is an example of grab bars that are used around the toilet. I recommend installing grab bars into the studs in the wall instead of using the suction cup grab bars. Just for stability and safety, I believe installing the grab bars into the studs is safer and more sturdy than using the suction cup grab bars. During feeding, you can use different pieces of equipment. This is a scoop bowl, so you're actually able to scoop the food and use the extra lip on the side to secure the food onto the utensil. And this helps you to reach your mouth easier with the food. And so you can be more independent while you're feeding and hopefully kind of keep it contained in the bowl itself. They also have plates that have the lip on it as well. There's several types of utensils that can be used for feeding as well. So the first type that I have pictured here is actually a weighted utensil. So this can help somebody that has those extra ataxic movements or more of a tremor, so that when you're bringing the food to your mouth, it's going to be a sturdier, more fluid motion. They also have utensils that have built-up handles, so that it could be easier to grip for the person. And then they have a combination as well of the built-up handle with the weight in it too. And lastly, they have swivel utensils, which I don't have a demonstration or a picture of, but essentially the end of the utensil is able to swivel, so it helps with those tremors or those ataxic movements. The utensil kind of moves with you and then the food stays level. For dressing, I have pictured a dressing stick, which is helpful when you don't have a lot of motion in your arms or strength in your arms. It just assists you in navigating putting on different pieces of clothing. I also have pictured a reacher. So this is helpful if you're needing to reach different items like your shoes or your socks. It can also be helpful to actually pull up your pants, and just helpful in general if you're unable to reach for a far distance. And then I also have pictured a button hook, which can actually be used one-handed if needed. So you're able to hold on to the handle and thread the end of the button hook through the buttonhole, grab the button, and then pull the whole thing back through. Next, I'm going to talk about energy conservation. So there are 4 P's to energy conservation. The first P is planning. So making sure that you're planning your day. You have built-in break times in there if you need to have a rest. This is to make sure that you're not getting fatigued too much throughout the day. The next P is actually pacing. So making sure that you're picking activities that you can then take a break after you've completed that activity. Prioritizing, so making sure that you are prioritizing the activities that you need to do towards the beginning of the day so that you're not as fatigued and you're able to actually complete those. And then lastly is positioning. So typically I tell people to try to do all of their activities sitting if possible, and of course you can stand as you're able, but making sure that you have a setup where you're able to sit so you can take those rest breaks. Sitting during dressing I think is important. You can sit on the edge of the bed. You can sit in a chair. You can also sit like when you're meal prepping, and anything that you need to do. If you can position yourself where you're saving your energy, that would be the premise behind that one. And then for the last part of the video, I'm going to review different exercises and a couple of pieces of equipment. So again, these are more general exercises. They might not all be the right fit for you, so I would encourage to make an appointment with an occupational therapist that can kind of tailor the program to your specific needs. So the first one that I'm going to review is actually the TheraPutty. Different colors are different resistances. The first exercise is a gripping exercise. So this is the gripping. This is what it looks like. You don't have to do these exercises quickly. You can do them slow. And then the next exercise is actually pinching with the thumb on the top. So your thumb is going to be pushing down. So it kind of looks like this motion. And then the last one I'll demonstrate today is pinching with your thumb and your 2 fingers. So thumb and your first 2 fingers. And there are lots of other exercises that can be performed with this type of TheraPutty. So I would just encourage you to kind of reach out to your occupational therapist to see what exercises might be right for you. The next piece of equipment that I wanted to go over is called TheraBand. So this is kind of a rubber band that you're able to use for different strengthening exercises. I just wanted to demonstrate 2 exercises today. The first one is going to target the shoulder muscles. By strengthening the entire body, you're really going to get more controlled movements with the hands. So the first one is you're just coming out to the side. And you want to go slow and controlled. You don't want to go fast. All right, and then the second one is actually punching. So I like to hold the band pretty close, and then I like to actually wrap my hands too, just so I don't let go of the band. So you're punching straight out in front of you. And this is good to target those muscles pretty much in the entire arm. All right. Again, there are a ton of other exercises that you can do with the TheraBand as well. Next, I wanted to talk about weight bearing. So weight bearing is a good way to incorporate some of these strengthening activities just in everyday life. So if you're standing at your sink and you're brushing your teeth, you can use your other hand to kind of bear weight while you're brushing your teeth, while you're combing your hair, and then you can switch. So by bearing weight, you're increasing that strength and you're actually decreasing some of those tremors and ataxic movements while you're bearing weight through that extremity. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about coordination. So there's fine motor and then there's gross motor coordination. So fine motor skills are just activities that use this fine precision movements with your fingers. So think about if you have to pick something up really small, like picking up a penny or picking up a peanut to put into your mouth. All of those are considered fine motor skills. Gross motor skills are typically larger movements. So reaching out to grab something, that would be gross motor coordination. So you can work on these activities or these skills by targeting specific activities. So for fine motor skills, you can stack pennies, you can flip pennies. For gross motor, you can flip your hands up and down, seeing how quickly you can go. You can touch your nose and then touch an object out in front of you, and then seeing how quickly you can do that. So all of those activities would be targeting that fine and gross motor coordination. That's all that I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you found this information helpful. If you think that any of these exercises might be beneficial, please make an appointment with an occupational therapist. Thank you.